BMR4.com and BMR-odds.com, boys. Welcome back. Episode number 143 of The Lobby. As always, each and every week, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sam? Hey.
What's going on, Bobby? You know, we're in upstate New York, so it's early April, but we had like a quarter of an inch of snowfall yesterday. I woke up with snow on the windshield. It was crazy. And next week, it's supposed to be in the high 60s, low 70s. Golf season is definitely beginning. We're going to talk about the Masters weekend, which is exciting. But come on, upstate New York, we don't need fourth winter. It's time to hit the second spring. Let's keep the weather going up. As you see, I'm still rocking a hoodie. We're flirting with short weather, but, you know, we're still hot and cold up here in upstate New York, but enjoying life. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs on the way, MLB season on the way, Masters weekend coming up. So lots to look forward to.
There's definitely a lot to dive into. And, you know, it's 89 and sunny out here in Vegas. So no complaints about any cold weather, that's for sure. But Mr. Reload Sports, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, doing well here. Same weather as Sammy's really seeing. We didn't get snow here, but like they did in New York and Massachusetts. But it's a pretty solid spring day. Not exactly bucket hat weather, but it's getting there, and things are looking good.
Yes, it definitely is. And, you know, Sam, shout out to UCLA on the women's side and then Michigan on the men's side, taking down both of those championships.
Yeah, starting with the women, the biggest story of the Final Four of that weekend, or, you know, those three games is going to be the semifinal coach battle with a second to go that came out of nowhere. You know, Jean versus Dawn at the end when that battle happened. The big upset, South Carolina beat UConn, and then Jean wouldn't shake hands, and then they were screaming at each other. I thought Jean was definitely in the wrong right there. Pretty much a poor loser, two of the legendary coaches in that sport. But that was a bad look for Jean. But shout out to UCLA, first ever title for them. Unfortunately, a pretty dominant game. That wasn't a good game. I watched the first half, and then it never got close. Whereas on the men's side, it was maybe not the greatest as far as shooting percentage goes. They both shot in their mid-30s, but great game for Michigan. They finally hit their first three in the second half to go up by like 11 or 12. I thought they might have opened, but good teams win, but great teams cover. UConn found a way to cover at the end. I think it was – they lost by 6. The spread was 6.5, 7 based on where you got it. But UConn got the cover. It was a good game overall. And back to you, Bobby, $500 winner. Had the under in that game from Roofer. Didn't win the $5,000, but at least you got $500. So did you spend that money all the way? What'd you do? Did you reinvest it? Did you go with the slot machine? Nice dinner. What'd you do?
You know what? Big shout out again to Roofer. Thank you for that. And, you know, it was really not a sweat, really, in that one. It was really a easy win. And, you know, I should have listened to my gut and went with all unders in his 5K contest. I didn't do it, but I'm just happy to pick up a little something. And it is currently just sitting in my account, you know, for a rainy day, Sammy. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I want to have a little extra money in there. You never know what I might stumble across.
Maybe $500 towards the weight loss program.
Yeah. maybe. Reload, women's and men's college basketball championships. What do you think?
Yeah, well, on the women's side, you know, it used to be pretty good to bet the favorites in those women's games, but it seems like things are kind of evening out a little where South Carolina upset UConn and UCLA upset South Carolina. Good to see it. It's good to see a little more parity there. And I'm sure as for Gino, yeah, pretty sore at things there. He did apologize later. But if I know Gino, he's probably off at the Mohegan Sun right now on the golf course there. I know he's a regular, or at least he used to be when I used to be around there. And they even named the food court after him for a while there. So,
oh, wow.
So I'm sure he's off just relaxing and trying to figure out who he's going to recruit for next year, so that they can get back to another 50-game winning streak. As for Michigan, yeah, hats off to them. Wow, what a team this year. You know, I really thought it was going to be Arizona in the winning it all, but well, they proved that they were just really one leap ahead of everyone else, the Michigan Wolverines. And UConn gave it a run in the final game, but you knew Michigan was really just a little better. Even with Dan Hurley's coaching, you know, I know there was a lot of buzz about that. especially the big comeback win over Duke and all that. But Michigan, was the team, and I know I'm sure they're going to try to go back-to-back next year. There's talk of, already seeing who they're going to obtain for next year. Hopefully the coach sticks around and tries to make another run at it.
Yes, definitely. Sammy, the NBA season is coming to a close. I see you got your Knicks hat on. What are your predictions for the playoffs? I mean, I know we still got a little bit left. But
yeah, you got 3-4 games left in the season. Should be ending next week. I think next weekend starts NBA and NHL playoffs, which is awesome. I won't watch 82 games during the regular season, but I'll watch pretty much 95% of all the playoffs. So that's when it gets exciting. Knicks will be the 3 seed, most likely looking to face the Raptors, which I like that matchup. Then in the semifinals, looking to play Boston, and that's going to come down to how Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown play, how Karl Anthony Towns, how Jalen Brunson performs, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, offensive rebound beast. So a lot of hope in New York, of course. And then, maybe have to play Detroit in that Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks-Boston series most likely projection is really going to be, I think the winner of that series is going to be the favorite to beat potentially Detroit, maybe Cleveland. In the West, you got Oklahoma City and the Spurs with Wemby out or potentially out until the playoffs, maybe into the first round. You got to favor Oklahoma City. I think the Spurs, if Wemby is healthy, is the better team overall, and they have beaten them more often head-to-head in the regular season. Tonight, you got a couple teams that are 20-point favorites, so you really got to find matchups that actually matter. A couple of them, I like Portland plus 3.5 against the Spurs. Again, no Wemby. And then I like Orlando minus 9.5 against the Timberwolves. NHL is also, ending their season. You got Buffalo that clinched their first playoffs in 15 years. You got Tampa Bay, Buffalo, and Montreal all tied with 102 points in the East. Carolina leading there with 106. And then the West, you got the Avalanche at 112, Dallas at 104, Minnesota at 102. So, I love NHL playoffs. I watch that more than the NBA, but that's why you got the double TV. So you'll have multiple action going on both TVs. So that'll be exciting.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload, over to you. Playoffs are coming up. NBA, got some NHL action going on. But as far as the daily NBA tonight, what do you got?
Yeah, for NBA tonight, I agree with Sammy on the Portland Trailblazers plus 3.5. I know we don't agree too much, but Portland plus 3.5 at San Antonio looks like a good spot there. The Blazers 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 as an underdog. They've always been a pretty solid underdog this season to take, and I think they'll be really up for that game in San Antonio. I also like, as a bigger dog, the Memphis Grizzlies. I know Sammy mentioned some of these bigger spreads. Boy, Memphis Grizzlies plus 23 points tonight at Denver. You don't see NBA lines that high. This isn't college basketball or something like that. It's one of those early season college games. This is the NBA. Memphis Grizzlies plus 23. I know they haven't done too well lately, but it's more of an anti-Denver play here. Denver 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 as a favorite. And I think they could look ahead a little here. Denver's last 2 games after this are Oklahoma City and San Antonio. I think they'll be a lot more up for those games than this one. They'll probably just kind of sleepwalk through it. Might even see a backdoor cover from Memphis late. So I'm going with Memphis there. As far as the way the playoffs look and all that, yeah, it's pretty tough to gauge right now. Like Sammy said, a lot going on with the different teams. I'd like to see the Celtics make a run and get in it against hopefully San Antonio from the West. I'd like to see someone different from the West this year. If Wemby's healthy, I think San Antonio is going to be one to watch there. So I like to see Celtics, San Antonio, and I'd surely like to see the Celtics and Knicks battle in the playoffs. That would be great.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. And let's go to the man who knows all about the backdoor action. Sammy, let's talk some tennis.
That wasn't a right segue. You should have talked about balls or something like that. That should have been the right segment. Or, eating dick, Bobby. We know you like that. Pretty controversial over there. But yeah, anyway, when it comes to tennis, they're rocking the clay court season. The men are in Monte Carlo, Monaco this week. The women are in Austria. Master 1000 for the men. Then you go into Rome. Then you go to Madrid. and then a month and a half away to the French Open. Started off hot on the clay court. I was 5-0, and then I've been on a rough stretch. I'm 12-13 overall on clay, down a few units overall, plus 12.5 units on the year. I went 2-2 today, so not bad. Round of 16 action tomorrow. Both Alcaraz and Sinner are still in it, so obviously the two favorites every time they're in a tournament. See what happens over the next couple of days.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload, let me jump over to you. Let's talk some MLB. You know, MLB season's always a grind. But what do you got today?
Yeah, MLB, I've been jumping in on plays here and there. I haven't posted a lot lately. There just haven't been a high quantity of plays enough to post lately. But I jump in on an MLB play here and there. Done pretty well with some of the short dog prices. I'm seeing lately if you check out a place like Bet 105, like reduced juice shops, I caught a play on Sunday. It was like plus 104 there, and everywhere else it was like minus 106. So you check out things like that. You compare odds. Sometimes you can catch some good prices there. As far as tonight's card, no underdogs really jumped out. I looked more at totals. And I like one total tonight. It's the final game on the board. We have a lot of early games today. And the latest game tonight is the Tigers and Twins. Third game of the series. I like the under 8 in this one. The under cashed last night in a 4-2 win, Minnesota. The under is 3-2. That brought the under to 3-2. Minnesota's 5 home games. Also, the under is 3-2 in Detroit's last 5. With a total of at least 8 or more. Valdez is on the mound for the Tigers. I think he could be the stopper here for Detroit and hold Minnesota to less scoring. And Detroit's bats really not doing too well in their last few road games. So I think overall we're looking for a low-scoring Detroit win, but I'd rather go with the under 8 than lay the pricey chalk with the Tigers.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, Diamond MLB action. What do you got?
Yeah, so right now I got the Rockies going, and they're up 6-1 over Houston. And I got the Mets over the Diamondbacks, and they're in the top of the first. And of course, we got the Yankees tonight. They're 8-2 on the season. Defending. Actually, no, they 2 years ago. Dodgers defending 2-time champion. They're 9-2. They're actually playing Toronto right now. And then the Yankees are 8-2, so they're leading the AL to start. Dodgers are 9-2, obviously 2-time defending champion. They got a gazillion dollar roster, so they're probably the overwhelming favorite to win the World Series again. And so far so good. But like you said, it's a long season. We're only like 3 weeks or we're 2 weeks in to a 30-week season, so a long way to go.
Yes, that is true. Reload, let me jump back to you for a minute. The Masters is coming up. One of the hottest tickets in town, that's for sure. I read an article the other day that it attracts more private planes than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's not surprising. The Masters, it's kind of one of those status things, to fly in. It's not just the golf itself. I'm sure there's a lot of side hustles going on around there for the week. And, it's really just a prestige thing to even have tickets to it. I like watching it every year. I'll just leave it on the whole 4 days. This year, it seems like you need a few different networks to see everything. I do have Paramount Plus, so I'll probably use that on Saturday and Sunday for the CBS action. The other days, I think, are ESPN and Amazon. So everything's kind of split up this year. You got to just check those listings for the TV coverage and the streaming. But yeah, I always enjoy it every year. I don't always get involved with betting it. Every year is kind of different there. I tend to just tail others out there if there's something that makes sense that I'm hearing. The matchups are fun to bet. The matchups through the whole tournament. I think that's more exciting to bet than the just putting little bits on long shots or something for the whole thing. Every stroke matters in those matchups, by the way. Like if you see anything, like as the tournament goes on, the in-game prices on certain matchups do change a lot. And you'll see like, wow, someone is only behind by 1 stroke. How hard could it be to catch up by 1 stroke? Oh, believe me, it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, a stroke in golf is like is like 10 points in a football game or something.
Right.
So you got to watch out for that. There are a lot of these newer square bettors out there that might not know what they're getting into with golf every year. It's fun, just try to have fun with it, and just count the days till your other sports are back.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, you know a lot about stroking it from golf. So let's jump over to you. A little bit of Masters.
Love
action.
the Masters. Love Masters weekend. It's the only major that's consistently at the same course. So it is somewhat easier to cap because, again, there's that consistency of every single year. It's at the same course. Scotty Scheffler, of course, is the favorite. He's going to be the favorite of every tournament.
Right.
But his odds have dropped. He was 3.5 about 6 weeks ago, and he's all the way up to 6-1 now. And then you got John Rahm right behind him. Then you got Bryson. Then you got Rory as the defending champion. And Reload's right. You could take a shot at Russell Henley at 52-1 or Xander Schauffele at 13-1, or maybe you can wait till Saturday where maybe the odds are 3-1, 4-1. They're not 50-1 or 30-1, but instead of picking the needle in the haystack, you're not getting as good odds, but maybe instead of throwing $50 at a 10-1, you throw $200 at a 4-1 or a 3-1 or something like that. Maybe throw more money at a lower odds, but still get plus odds as the day goes on. But from a top 10 standpoint, that's my thinking on long term there. But from a top 10, I do like a couple futures, which is Tommy Fleetwood at plus 170 to get into the top 10. That dude is super consistent. And then Aske Badia. I always say his name wrong. Aksha Badia plus 450. But if you know golf, you know who I'm talking about. Plus 450 for him, and can't wait. Masters weekend is going to be super exciting. Yeah, it's annoying that of course they're on multiple sources, but I'll figure it out and I'll be watching.
Exactly, and it's like everything else nowadays. You need multiple apps, just like Reload mentioned. You need multiple books in order to definitely get those good prices. But guys, good luck on all the upcoming action this week. Good luck on all your Masters plays, and we will see you guys on the forum.
All right.